At the Silent Eye Commission, I looked at the social welfare woman. I looked at the other person from Brent Council. I asked them, I said, have you got children? Do you know anything about children? So it is not the press that just got up one day and picked on Strasser.
Okay.
It is because of, let me land, please. It is because of Sierra Leoneans.
We got it.
So that's done. And the other thing is, Strasser, yes.
So we've got the points, gentlemen. Listen, yeah. We can. I am enjoying this debate. This is really interesting, and it's a learning curve. Like I said earlier on, for me, there are things I agree with, there are things that I disagree with, and we can all go back and do our various researches, and then come back and hold the program from the beginning. Yeah, but we've got time limitation, so please forgive me. Doctor, yes, quick one.
No, would you mind if I can just highlight for the benefit of viewers to know the principal reasons that necessitated the palace coup?
No, that is
just 3 points. Just 3 points. Just 3 points. Just 3 points. Just 3 points.
Hold on, quick. Let me tell you something.
Let me tell you something.
Doctor, hold on. Yes, Winston.
Arnold Gooding, who was information minister and also acting as Attorney General, was in the room. Is a personal friend. Is somebody I've spoken to for a long time. Late Claude Campbell was in the room. There are several of them, including, you see, so one thing I will tell you, Doc.
Yeah.
None of them in that room, since that day in 1996, has given accurately what happened and why that coup took place, apart from the fact that had it not been for Charles Magai coming out and telling us that the Constitution has Strasser's age, everything else is their own, like you said, Prince, everything else is their own personal view and agenda to satisfy justification of the coup.
Well, can I just say this?
Let me land.
Doctor, hold your thoughts right there. You'll be giving your due time.
To say that you have 3 specific reasons why the coup took place, why Strasser was overthrown.
Yes.
Okay, Dr. Fofi, we're going to hear those 3 specific views.
Yes.
Is it theoretical? Is it backed by analytical data?
Well, I mean, that's up to the panelists and the audience to decide.
Oh, no, but you can give me points of references. We can decide, of course. You said a lot of stuff.
These points are well researched.
Oh, Ojukutu, hang on. Okay,
these points are well researched.
That's what I was saying. They're well researched, so we can be referenced.
And I am happy, that Mr. Macaulay is saying, up to date, he does not have.
No. I did not say I did not have.
I will start muting people now. Yeah, please, the time. Dr. Fofi, you see, we are deviating again.
Let me just give the point.
Can you give us those 3 points quickly, please? We need to hear the other guests. Mr. Lamin has spoken quite less on this program. You two have spoken too much. Lamin, hang on. Lamin, hang on. Mr. Macaulay, hang on. Mr. Dr. Fofi, can you give us those 3 points quickly, please?
Yes. On the 16th January 1996, a palace coup was successfully staged amidst a dispute within the governing Supreme Council of State on
that's FACT in capital letters.
SES on 3 key issues. 1, as to whether to seek peace with the RUF before multi-party elections, which were planned for March 1996. First issue. Second issue, to go ahead with the elections regardless of the ongoing war in the country. Yeah. And finally, there was dispute on the conditions for participation or disqualification of junta members in the elections. And that last point is what implicated the disqualification of Captain Valentine Strasser.
Okay, before I go to Mr. Lamin, one minute, please. Yeah,
Okay.
It'll be short and quick. Okay, doctor, you've just stated things which are considered to be facts, but are quite one-sided. That's the view of people who oppose to the other side. And remember, in this conflict, there is an other side who saw things from a different perspective. So yes, they stage a coup, and then they have to provide a reason as to why the coup was staged. We should understand that. That's clear enough. If you give the other side a reason as to why they were there, they will justify it from reports that the time was not right yet. Johnny Paul became head of state. He got the rebels out of the bush, yet he was kicked out of power. But he would say, I tried to make peace. Maada was seen hawking the rebel leader. Because why? It was a PR moment. So there are many things, that can be questioned all the way to that journey. Okay, doctor. Let's not. Lamin, let's do it.
Yeah. So
Lamin, please.
Okay, here is the situation. We are concentrating so much on political leaders, Maada, Tijan Kaba, who people advocated for Strasser to be on a state pension and whatever, and then he refused that Strasser is not an elected leader. He was coup, and then categorically, late President Ahmed Tijan Kaba did not allow Strasser to be on a state benefit. That was one thing. But are we gonna look at what the wife did to him, Gloria? Should we look at it that these are some of the things that actually frustrated Strasser? These are some of the things that led Strasser to the state that he is before few weeks ago.
Okay, so let me say this. You see, there are many contradictions in this conversation here tonight, and I'm glad that Dr. Fofi almost got too excited, here on live TV.
Because honestly,
so the reason why I mentioned this, I mean, it's a good point, but we're not going to go into that tonight because you see, we will just go back and back. But the reason why I mentioned this is it buttresses my point that long before waiting Dr. Fofi de Assad, that when the man came because of British right-wing media press. And that's what, hounded him out of the university, and then the problem began there. So I agree with you, Lamin. There are issues, a lot of issues from the beginning, and we established that. Whether he was abusing substances, he wasn't straightforward, he wasn't thinking, and then the Gloria factor, these were all prior to Warwick University. So we get that, but let me move on to the house quickly because we run out of time.
And these are all issues that led for Strasser to be who he was. It has nothing to do with the palace coup.
No. We would disagree. Well, come on. Psychologically, I'm not an expert. And I think I've been trying to bring an expert, but
we've seen leaders. That.
Lamin, the statement where you make is factually incorrect.
No,
if you were to go through a quarter, because this man has gone through a lot, by the way, and some of it, like we say, he actually responsible for. But if you were to be a head of state, or let's say the life where you live now, safe, they were to throw you out of your mortgage or you lost.
But if Strasser had the money, if Strasser had the money, the properties that Gloria took from him.
Have you got evidence of that? No, have you got evidence?
Well, exactly. You seem to be throwing everything into it.
Hold on. Have you got evidence? Hold on, Prince. Have you got evidence?
This is serious now.
Strasser himself said it. He said it to Mr. Barr in the interview in August, second Saturday, August 2010.
Exactly.
When Mr. Barr asked, have you got a wife? Strasser said, yes, my ex. And Mr. Barr said, where is your son? And he was like, I've got a son who is Valentine Strasser Jr., living with my wife in the United States. And Mr. Barr said, so what happened between you and your wife? And Strasser said, I don't want to talk about that. But trust me, my wife...
Stop that. You see, you're playing hanky-panky, you need to stop that. Exactly, Dr. Fofi. Come on, man. Look, Ojukutu, let me make your case.
I think Brother Prince please be kind to Mr. Lamin. I mean,
what we have here,
Ojukutu.
Prince. What we have here,
I've got the
what we have here,
recording. I spoke to Mr. Ba.
What we have here are two
I've got the recording. I spoke to Mr. Ba, who is the press attaché now.
No. I think
who was the person that did that interview.
Okay, guys,
and it was very, very explicit and straightforward.
Lamin, let me say this, and this goes to Ojukutu. You get your junior brother, you get for go easy, Mr. Ojukutu, because now you've seen an opening. It's like the lion they chase the gazelle, and you don't close it on them, and you still want to go for them. No, sometimes you back off. That's seniority. Mr. Lamin, again, one more good advice, Mr. Lamin. Stop throwing this anecdotal thing then. One thing you said, you're a researcher, we have to respect it from here. That's what I'm going saying. On. Left space, here for speculation, and if you speculate, left space. Left for make us sound like it's so real. Yeah. Then when you give your own account about the interview, just go listen to the playback. I will send you a clip of this particular shot. That's not a very good attempt. But all along, you sound very pro. Of course, it's not for me to say that, but here's the point I want to make in terms of the case the way you don't make. You think the current president not been get issues, domestic issues, we already happening at the United States and etc. But he's still standing tall today. He's the president of the republic, isn't it? So one man could be weak the way he take his own, or he own just too much for let it take, and another man could be strong. And not me say they're all clean. And Ojukutu make that point they back earlier on. They both, all of them gone through this. Another person and decide for right about them. And that was one section of people where not just let the other one, and probably they're powerful. And I can give you an example. The current head of state domestically is strong in terms of the press. Either muzzle them, get them on side, or they see that what they do is right. Whereas social media is hugely anti the head of state. Now, everything that they say, probably 75%, if I can put a margin on that.
So why is Dr. Fofana shaking his head?
But that's just the truth. It's well documented, by the way, and we can give references. But let me move on to the host. Dr. Fofi.
Yes, please.
This they go to you. I mean, this we get for redo this again, honestly. Let me go to the host.
You see, you debate Dr. Fofana, they talk so much past me and Mohammed.
No, una all two una beat Mohammed. No, I don't agree. Ojula say this.
Prince, let me just say
you talk. No worry. I give more time.
No, but I just want to clarify waiting at the stages now about Mr. Ba. If you read Mr. Ba,
exactly. You have to come prepare when you come on
the network. No,
Lamin, again, that's not what you talk about network. Your network is live. Now you go in the camp, but you are still live. So stop that. Yes. Another word again. Let me listen. You are going to be a permanent fixture on this platform, and I tell you now on live TV.
Yeah. So no, I don't even change from Wi-Fi. I'll be connected to work Wi-Fi. I don't change now.
But that's all right. Let's go. Let's
just clarify one point.
Okay.
If you look at Mr. Ba, the person where the person that interviewed Strasser in 2010, his first article about the resurrection of Strasser, and then his second article, which is going to be published tomorrow, which has already been sent to me, it is stated that clearly that Strasser, the wife, abandoned him, took all the properties and money in that Strasser placed in her name. I can send you the article.
Please let me say something, please.
Mr. I'm not saying you know this thing and you
Mr. Mohammed. I don't want to talk about.
Would you go on? We're not getting.
I don't want to talk about Strasser and his wife. I'll give you one example, about Sierra Leone and wealth. During Pakaba in regime, there were two ministers, I will not call names, that were mentioned that are multi-millionaires, and that their wives and children have billions of dollars.
Where we continue not get billions.
When Pakaba time dawned, President Koma became president. Within 1 year, those two ministers who are still alive
were broke.
Were broke.
I know the story.
So this Sierra Leonean thing about millions and properties and whatnot is all hearsay.
Yes, and again, Oju, we run out of time quickly, but I absolutely agree with them. I agree with you, and we therefore take note of caution. Now, people then are thinking value, even though we don't know we value. Just put one motor car, you put on a street, wear fine clothes. You go, yeah, this is common. And they get money. Then they call you money all for you. Money where you don't know say you get. Then they call them for you. So that's
Mr. Prince, do you expect Strasser to rule for 4 years and left with nothing at the end of the day?
This is the problem.
Well, again, it depends on what you mean by the question.
Can I just say something?
Let me answer the young man.
Okay,
it's a good question. Yeah. So you mean for like I don't expect that, but for like embezzle because I can give you tons of evidence of heads of state that will rule, because when you rule and you live by your wages, Captain Thomas Sankara died with only one guitar. Julius Nigeri, he died with I think only $5,000 in bank account. Dr. Kaunda, not very much left in your account where he died.
How many years Sankara ruled for?
No, about Mr. Mohammed.
Yes, continue.
Mr. Mohammed.
Yes,
you are a fairly young man. Your statement, your question is a very dangerous question.
Very dangerous and very.
Please allow me.
You just to support. Okay, let me name you out now. You're just too supportive of the Julius Bio government. So much so that you are unable, for guide you breed, Mr. Lamin. You're too supportive of the government to a point where you know the caution anymore. You're just having to go and just take a side. I expect balance. I mean, you get to right to take your position, but all the questions that you've asked, if you go on reflection, Mr. Lamin, honestly, if you go on reflection, we can left this now, but you will see exactly what I'm driving to. But anyway, let's go to the house quickly. And this is a question for Dr. Fofi. Let's get back on track. This is a fascinating discussion. And with Sierra Leonean and they have a discussion, you can find where it buys tea and, with due respect. And then we go and then we come. And we come back again to ground zero, on real ground, not to space. Dr. Fofi, so President Bio, of course, you support him in the actions where it don't take for Captain Strasser. And I shall say, a vast majority of people support him and that kind of action the way it takes. When I say vast majority, I mean cutting on all sides of the political aisle. Yeah. Now, people that way go extremely hate him, not go appreciate this. Yeah. But the way this is being carried out on the basis of morality, that if I go inside the house and go meet the picture of the president and wife and inside it, that then go take the house in picture, not only on the outside, but the bedroom side, you get for go sleep. That the former head of state will get for go taking key as if na lease agreement in the GoPan. How do you see all of this? I support the idea that they hear but the process.
I think this is quite an interesting question, Brother Prince. In my own personal view, I don't see anything wrong with it. I mean, there's a school of thought where say the president don't do this secretively. Yeah, but let's take it on moral grounds. For instance, you see, Brother Prince, the good thing here is we are all believers. Some here are Muslims, some are Christians. As a Muslim, my faith say when you do charity, it is best to do it in private, but there is no harm in making it public. And in this case, in this particular case, I tell you, whether we agree or not, even if President Bio would have done this in secrecy, there would have been people who would have criticized him.
So let me agree with you on that, but still want to ask you, as an academic, critically speaking, do you think that a former head of state, like as I repeat again, not to lease agreements, not to OC the go rent for go take keys and what have you, Don't you think that's a PR campaign will not be necessary? And again, why do they have to show his bedroom to the entire world? Do you reckon with that?
Well, I think I'll reckon with that on this grounds. One, there has not been any violation of privacy at that point. Imagine the pictures we are seeing were before our former head of state entered that premises.
So what exactly you mean? What exactly you mean?
So what
there's been no violation
the point
of privacy.
The point why they make.
What are the difference before and after?
Well, the difference is that technically there is no emotional attachment between the property and the former head of state at that point. That's the first point.
How do you know this?
Because he's not lived there. He's not lived there.
Do you have to live in the house before you be emotionally connected to the house?
Of course. I mean,
or do you know how long? You know how long?
Mohamed Lamin is a student of law. Mohamed Lamin is a student of law. When you study property law, one of the things that is taken into due consideration is emotional attachment with the property. At the point those pictures were shown, there is no emotional attachment.
I disagree fundamentally. Fundamentally disagree. Because by your argument, Dr. Fofi, by your argument is for when you become emotionally attached, in this case in the house, you will have dwelled in the house.
Exactly.
For studies, I get you. That's why I fundamentally disagree, because I know that's where you're coming from. But studies also show you not only get for dwell in the house, for let you become emotionally attached to them, just by looking into the house, just by being told. You don't know how long ago they don't tell and say in your house. You don't know how long ago, how many times you don't go there and don't fall in love with the house.
But these are all speculations. These are all speculations.
How can you make, no, it's speculation based on the fact, say, you are saying until you dwell in the house. Yeah. Until you dwell in the house. So I'm speculating.
But not only dwell, you until you have lived in the house for a considerable period of by which definition say you will have dwelled by a considerable? Which definition? Give me a reference, please. Look,
which definition, doctor?
I tell you, Brother Prince, probably Mohamed Lamin as a law student would say something to this.
Okay, so we will go to the law students.
Yeah,
okay.
Because there are legal implications here. For you to have an emotion, Brother Prince, you cannot be emotionally attached to something you did not have. It's simple logic.
So therefore, you make the earlier statements which are agreed with, and I gave you the basis for which I make and when you talk about speculating, because he could have been shown the house. He could have visited a house.
No.
He would have been taken on a trip to the house to get familiar with the house. He would have fallen immediately with that house, any surrounding, even though inhabits the house yet.
But we don't have any evidence as we speak. We don't have any evidence as we speak to indicate that Strasser knew Maada was doing this for him. There's no evidence. There is no evidence.
But let me ask you this. If there were evidence to say, are you saying that you are agreeing with me that you don't necessarily, because this is where my argument is coming from. The premise of my argument on this basis is you don't have to be an occupant, a physical occupant of the property. I can see a house, okay, I don't occupy it, I don't fall in love with the house, emotionally I don't attach. In fact, that they leave me for buy the house.
You can't. Well, okay. Brother, please, maybe please allow me to digress a bit in support of what Brother Macaulay was saying. I just want to digress.
Hold on 1 minute. We'll come to
I just want to digress in support of what Brother Macaulay was saying.
Let me hold on 1 minute.
No.
In the end,
let me just digress.
Lawyer, so we will come to you. Hold on 1 minute. Let the doctor digress. Yeah.
I just want to digress into a very important point where Brother Macaulay made, and I resonate with that very seriously. I mean, with no disrespect to what Lamin say about what would have transpired between Strasser and informer wife. But the problem we have as Sierra Leoneans is we are so easy to say things that we have no evidence for. And I'll give one reason. And this is not, I mean, to sound as if I am trying to support or abdicate President Bio here. We all know there has been a lot of talks about how President Bio invested a lot of money in Ghana. Ghana and Sierra Leone are just maybe a couple of hours apart. And
we do have evidence, though. I know they talk about the broad one.
And as we speak, there has been no evidence of such. So
that is not Dr. Fofi, come on, man.
I have not seen it. I have not seen it.
But then just say you haven't seen it, but you're making broad sweeping statements.
But why should we say,
which is surprising?
Why should we say here, Mohamed Lamin is wrong to say one of the problems of Strasser was because he lost so much money and property to the former wife.
We did not say that was a problem there. What we then come to identify is, whilst he was waving away one side, who would have suffered consequently from the same thing, never did he mention all the problems that Maada Bio had with Frances Bio. Never. And whenever he mentioned Strasser, watch his body language, my friend. It's simple as that, Doctor.
It's as simple as that. But let me bring it back to Ghana. The point I want to make here, as we don't have any evidence.
Okay, Dr. Fofi, let me hear you, Ojukutu, yeah, go on, please.
You see, Dr. Fofana and Mr. Mohamed Lamin are here to praise Caesar and to bury Strasser. No. Come on, gentlemen. Let's not keep it on the bush. They're here to praise Caesar.
One thing I will tell you. Hold
on, Lamin. You'll be next. Hold on.
You say anybody, Prince, you say anybody will not recommend or recognize or accept what Maada Bio do, no like or what not. For me, I don't see anything good. Okay. Anything good about the house. It's a populist move. And it's of bad taste. And the mere fact that when you enter the house, they show the house, you see Fatima
exactly
in the house.
What's wrong with that?
Doctor, I make her ask you on a moral basis. So you still don't see anything wrong with that? That the former head of state, the president, is for restaurant to glory.
Hold on, please wait. We have had several heads of state and presidents in the Republic of Sierra Leone since independence.
Yeah,
good one. When last?
There has never been a case. Never. In fact,
only because this man is vulnerable. Only because this man is vulnerable. Come on, Doctor.
It is on record. It is on record. Pakaba enforced portrait when he became president. Pakaba enforced portrait. Now, me selling a Sierra Leone, I sold over 700 of them. It's on record. Because Ministry of Information, the pictorial section, destroyed during the war. So,
there are protocols around these things, my friend.
So when I talk about things, I know what I'm talking about. There has never been a time in Sierra Leone from Milty Magai.
Ojukutu, good point. We have to move on. We have to move on. We get 5 minutes. We get 5 minutes.
You gave Fofana enough time. I'm sorry, with greatest respect. Now, coming to the house.
I have to break this into 2 sessions.
Coming to the house of itself. You mentioned charity on Maada Bio and state. Perhaps something we don't know. Was this house built by President Bio? Was it built by the state of Sierra Leone?
So this is where I was coming to, and I just add to that because now that's having to go to.
Let me. And then we get to understand saying that some Lebanese build the house.
Hang on. We still let's do so because I'll tell you that's exactly who side. That's exactly who side they go. But I want to take the talk to Lamin. Listen, brother, hold on.
You're not being fair to us. You give enough space to Dr. Fofana. You don't give us time to talk. No, it's okay.
If you've made your point,
Exactly.
And
I haven't made my point. You got
okay, let's see which other point you want to make. Whether not to the Lebanese.
No. Go ahead.
So
I'm not here to praise Caesar.
So since you pause now, I can tell you, say, you don't get anything further for say, other than for speculate, but on the oaths, whether the oaths na private, on a matter on the coffers of government, and with the Yerise Lebanese, that's where we're going. And I said that's where we're going.
I could have withdrawn the Lebanese issue and continue, but go ahead.
No, you don't have to. I mean, the speculation not too bad. Good for
the
conversation.
I'm not, like I said, I'm not here to praise Caesar and Ben Strasser.
Okay.
Yes, you see the issue about the house. To be honest, when I saw the video on social media, I was like, I saw pictures of the president, Julius, the vice president, the first lady, and then Strasser himself. Honestly, Dr. Fofi is talking about property here, and then talking about evidence. And as a legal student, if we're looking out for evidence, the one we have in front of us now is the video which has the picture of the president, Maada, first lady, and vice president, and Strasser. So we don't know what's going to happen later if the pictures were removed or not. We are talking based on what we saw. Yeah. And from what we saw, honestly, I don't think...
That's an eyesore, I mean. That's an eyesore. Dr. Fofi, I mean, expect say you will deal with that critically. And even Lamin get hesitation about that, you're saying, it's not right. It's not right.
Honestly,
it's not right, Dr. Fofi. This host not to lease host, not to rent host. This host, now the state now in the game via the head of state to a former head of state for help restore dignity and respect. This is what it is on a moral basis. Was Valentine was he consulted before they put that furniture there up? Does Valentine want for every time we sit on and look at Maada and say thank you like some white Jesus? Is that what you're saying?
No,
come on, man.
I think we are over analyzing this issue.
Okay.
I think we are over analyzing it.
Okay,
yeah?
Doctor.
When it comes to the issue of pictures, honestly, I'm not in support of it. New
furniture. Lamin, you go rent a house. You definitely want your own furniture and your own house. That everybody clear about that. So why now we go back somebody in your own furniture and they can't put now your house? We're not to your own furniture. Why?
Why? Because they're uncultured. Because they're uncultured, they're uncut, they're raw.
That's what it is. It was a publicity. It was a publicity stuff.
I think that is.
Again, I want to go back to the lawyer. Lamin, on the basis of the oath as well, yeah. So there are questions being asked from all circles now, and this will be the last question to now because we really need to go. It's over the 2-hour mark, and that's way above the mark. I'll get for split this and put them in 2 parts now. YouTube, I go send the clip to now. There are questions around Uda Gideos. Is it from the personal pocket? You hear me, Lamin?
Yes.
Is it from the personal pockets of the president? Is it like a gift when the president will to inform a party? You know, like Valentine, I'm sorry with all of this thing will happen to you over the years, but such was it. Just like we make the argument tonight, but we need to move on. And we know say the president, the former head of state, been in deep poverty. I mean, everybody abandoned her, like we all agree. Maada seem for the restaurant. But this restoration process, now in they create this friction out of the country in which usually the atmosphere is so political, it's so toxic, identity politics, and liberalism, if you will like, let me use some local term for pepper the conversation. Or now the state, now in pay for this, but like Ojuku to be the intimate earlier, there are rumors going around saying there's a Lebanese factor, in other words, a third factor behind this. And Sierra Leone, you never far away from the truth, even though the truth can be sort of mixed up. But putting these 3 things together, I want to deal with them subsequently for whether we understand all of these factors, what it mean, both in the negative and the positive. If it were the Lebanese, what happens then? Is it a private property? If not government property, it go through parliament for let parliament ratify them, qualify them, so nobody no ever get for can harass this man again. If not the president, with the paperwork, here for DM, and do we need an accountability process? Is it not part of good governance?
Well, one thing I want to say as an activist, first of all, the main concern is Strasser was deteriorated, was in a state of like a madman or whatever.
Leave stress out of this. Leave stress out of this thing. Talk about the house.
I'm coming. So the house in this
But you could let the man speak. Strasser is at the center of this conversation, along with informer.
So the house at this particular point for Strasser means a lot. And as an activist, I will say thank you to President Bill for the house. Now, coming to, is the house built by Big Don, as people are saying on social media? Is the house built by President Bill or the government? When Strasser was sick and was admitted in the hospital, and later they said he needs to be flown out of the country, and then he went to Ghana. When Strasser was in Ghana, he was attended to, and the embassy in Ghana, which means it was government taking care of Strasser in Ghana, because everything was from the Sierra Leone embassy in Ghana.
Yes.
The ambassador Adasin was in charge.
Yes.
We saw everything. When Strasser was coming back to Sierra Leone, we saw social media that President Bill has built a house for Strasser. That was the news in social media, the first one we saw. And one thing that amazed me was that this house issue was never something on social media. Exactly. It only came to social media when they said Strasser was coming and President Bill was going to hand over the keys to Strasser. So the issue about who built the house, President Bill, Mr. Don, honestly, at this particular point in time, I can't tell. I'm still doing my research. I'm still finding out. I'm still asking questions. But let's say if this house was built by a Lebanese man, Mr. Don, then we need to know. If it was built by a government, we need accountability. And the government should be transparent about this.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lamine.
If this house was built by President Bill, yes, President Bill is the president of Sierra Leone. He's receiving salaries. He's receiving per diem. He has the money to build the house for Strasser from his personal pocket. Because, yes, President Bill has the money to build your house for Strasser from his personal pocket. He's working now. People used to say President Bill has been jobless. How
much is he making?
Ojuku, Ojuku, you want to look at the house and tell what's the cost of the house? Nobody knows the cost of the house.
Yeah, well, exactly, and that's why you should exercise caution that the president is working, because you have to factor his salary as well. So both sides are agreeing.
But that's a fact.
What's the fact, doctor? What's the fact?
It's the fact.
If the president can build a house for himself,
I will come back to you, please. Yes, doctor. What's the fact?
In agreeing with Mohamed Lamine that it's important for there to be transparency in the
Doctor, leave the nuance. Let's get to the point. What is a fact? No, leave the nuance.
It's a fact. Yeah. It's a fact that the president of the Republic of Sierra Leone is well enough. He's well paid. He's well cared for by the state of Sierra Leone to be able to build 5 of those houses.
Okay, and you know the cost of that house, yeah?
I don't know.
But the president is capable enough of
building 5 of those houses.
So this is a one flat.
Doctor.
Prince, this is a one flat.
Let me make this clear. I think you and Doctor are making some fundamental errors. You can disagree with me. Yeah, Doctor. Okay, let me qualify that. I've just asked you. You've just made a sweeping statement, which I found quite outstanding. That because the president is well paid enough, and I'm sure you don't know his salary, you're just making a general. You don't know. Doctor, what is fact here is what I'm stating now. Let's speak real facts.
Okay.
You don't know the wages being paid to the president.
I don't
know. but yet you made a statement that he can afford by your estimate, and I will take by your estimate, but it doesn't make it right because you don't know his salary, neither do you know the cost of the house, but you say he can build 5 of that. A doctor of science doesn't make such statements.
No.
Prince, that's what he did.
Do you know what is the daily impress of the president of Sierra Leone? Do you, Mr. Macaulay knows that?
Why is the president giving a daily impress? It's a good question. So why is he giving a daily impress? Is it to save? Is it to save?
Say that
so Mr. Fofi, please, let's do our homework before we make those statements. Let me come back to you. I will come to you, Doctor. Lamin, on a final note, I think you try for.
Prince, you're not calling me. You giving these guys the 2 platform and then.
Well, you see, you want pull the. Until you learn Boku English, you want pull the board now. Englishman say you want pull the board, and they can't pull the secrets now. Do I be want you the last word? I be want no. They pull the secret now. Do I pull the secret now? Because
no pull the secret.
Doctor, I pull the secret. No pull that. I be want you the last word. I be want you the last word. Let close you and Lamin.
Please,
Ojuku will bring the BBC in journalism.
Okay, Oju, what do you want to say on a more serious note?
Go to Mr. Lamin.
No, I still can't tell you with the last word, but it's fine for let you interject. Yeah, I know say you want to interject. Go on, please.
I go read that for you, go right and wrong. Then you go tell her. I don't go call the figure. I don't call them by whether a million or 1,000. The salary of the president annually is 12,220 US dollars annually. So maybe I always say 12,220 US dollars annually.
That's funny money, Randy.
Okay.
No. Dr. Fofana, with the greatest respect, wait, sir. Now this same impress, etc. Now those of you who are condemning and Escogoma and the APC, we are talking about.
Oh, now so suddenly the impress does matter. The impress does matter.
2018 election.
Okay, Oju.
So
Oju, don't overplay.
Do you know the per diem? Do you know the per diem the president is receiving?
Okay.
Here we go again. This is what I'm saying. These are the things.
Ojuku, I'm sure you built a house. Look at the house and tell me if the president cannot build that.
Go to Lamin.
Okay, Lamin, let's get back on ground. Yeah, what do you mean to say?
Yeah.
In my own estimation, okay.
Prince, you've built a house. You know. Look at that house.
Brother, what I want to say to you before we begin get all this back and forth, because you ask a question, you look at the house and you try for just look at the value of the house with your eye. Do you know what makes a house value? Do you know the ground? Do you know the area? So you see, we can be technical about it. You can't just look because you see
this is grafting. Forget about that. Grafting.
Yeah. But I don't want to be technical about that. Waiting, I know una all too so far wrong on that. You don't know the president is salary.
This is grafting. Grafting. You can get a piece of. You can get a plot of land for 10 million euros.
You don't know the president. You might be lucky for. You might be lucky for get him. We'll go get place like
Okay, Mr. Brother Prince. Brother Prince.
No, Dr. Fofi, we are not going to reverse. I want to ask you a question. We need to end this program. We need to end fascinating program.
Okay,
but
sir.
here is the thing. I mean, we all can hold with you. Waiting, I suppose we go need for doing again. Maybe we can organize a part 2. Then we give each other chance, for just deal with this.
Not with these guys. I'm not coming with this guys.
Okay.
I'm not coming to people who are praising Madam Hugh.
Okay, here's the final question, Dr. Kofi. This is the final question.
Yeah.
Do you believe in the accountability and transparency process of a government? And it sounds easy question, but contextually, the reason why I ask you is based on already you don't say. When you talk about the oath, for example, like the president in Bilam, you suddenly forget, it appeared to me like transparency does not really matter, because do you know how much impress the president they get in per diem, which means that is an aisle, for corruption. And I make Ojuku to rightfully make that point today, that this same thing didn't exist some time ago, but it's defined differently as applicable to the current situation.
Yes.
If you understand what I mean, Dr.
Yeah. Just ask a question.
Yeah, now the question now, do you believe in transparency? I just give you the context. Do you believe in transparency and accountability?
Yeah. I believe in transparency to the highest degree. But the question here does not center on transparency. The question here is, you and I don't know how that particular building is funded. I don't know. You asked me that question. I don't know. But what I said,
Doctor, you sound you don't sound like the lecturer. You sound
no, I'm coming. I'm coming. Brother Prince, I'm coming. Yeah.
Okay.
So the fact of the matter is, in as much as I do agree with the principles of transparency, but what I have to say, not knowing the particular source of the funding of that particular building, I want to say the president of Sierra Leone, any president of Sierra Leone, any president, let's forget for Maada Bill, any president of Sierra Leone, from what they legitimately receive from the state in terms of salary, in terms of per diem, in terms of imprest and other allowances, is far more capable to build a house that.
Wrong.
Okay, Lamin, are you there? Lamin.
Wrong.
Lamin, do you believe in the process of accountability and transparency in a government? Same question I asked you earlier on, but with a different twist. And this one is direct. Accountability and transparency, which are all good virtues for good governance. Do you believe in those principles, Mohammed?
Well, I believe in transparency and accountability. And as an activist, I've always said is that this government campaign on transparency and accountability. And honestly, we've seen them falling short. If you look at the recent fiscal discipline report, even the previous one, the government failed, and this one, the government failed. And I saw the Vice President, Mohamed Jallow, having a meeting with the anti-corruption, the head of audit service, the finance minister, and all those involved, the Auditor General, to see how best they can map a way.
Okay, good one. I'm not going to ask you this, you're going to be my final question, but one final question. How optimistic are you? Because I like the way how you put them, because not very many people they come for. I mean, the lies are so telling, Mohammed, honestly, that people don't have the courage and the audacity and the guts and the spine for come and admit to which you admit to. And we can never find solutions if we not identify the problem and agree, say this is what our problems are. So I must tell you really thanks on this note for admitting to that. But the question here, in terms of optimism, like turning things around for the better good of Mama Salon and with people then, how optimistic are you? And remember, within a time frame, you get like 2 years left?
Well, honestly, because of certain things we don't see, and of course, the election don't can close, and Sierra Leoneans are very, very smart these days. Sierra Leoneans will know what they want. And campaign time don't come. If you campaign the last time on transparency and accountability, and then you're failing the people on that, the time is coming, they're going to judge you by that. And because of that, I think the government is really putting things in place to see how best that can be thing of the past. And we saw Chernobyl. I don't want to believe in Chernobyl. I don't believe in Chernobyl. I know he's bringing out things.
And doctor, you don't believe in him too?
No, I don't.
Okay. All. Yeah,
I know he's bringing out things, how he's getting them, but he's putting the whole thing like they are corruption. But I think one institution that is responsible.
This is an entire segment on a different day.
Exactly.
One institution that is responsible is the audit service. And we've seen so far what the audit service is doing.
Yes.
And this is the institution that is mandated by law to audit the government, bring out everything. We saw the 2019 audit report, and we are actually looking forward for the 2020 report and see what's going to happen. And then we have a judgment if this government
Lamin. So the 2018-2019 report does not really matter. We have to wait.
No, it does matter.
It matters, but I'm looking.
Okay.
One thing I'm saying here, Prince.
Hang on. I mean, you've made the point, but I just want to understand. Some things quickly. You don't agree with Chernobyl, okay, because he's putting things out there. What is different that Chernobyl Africanist Press is putting out there that is differ from the report which you embrace, which is the Auditor General's report, which is a government report? What's different?
There are so many differences because
name me one or two.
When you look at what the president, the office of the chief minister is, the office of the chief minister was audited.
Yeah.
And then we have the audit reports. If you read the audit reports of the audits for office of the chief minister,
yeah,
it's totally different from what China is bringing out. And if you look at this, the Chancery Mission House in US, what is going on?
Yes.
China is bringing out the whole thing.
Exactly.
Like, you understand? This is the court matter.
Okay, I got you. My word of advice again. I think this is my third or fourth word of advice.
Prince, no. I think you are being very unfair.
Dr. Fofana should not speak again. Dr. Fofana, no.
I think this is grossly unfair the way Mohammed is being treated. I disagree with it. What Mohammed is saying, Dr. Mohammed is saying, Dr. Brother Prince, I think Mohammed is being badly treated. And let us don't forget, this is widely viewed.
Dr. Fofi, I've just muted you.
Prince,
Lamin, hold on. Prince. I've just muted somebody to make a point, and you want to interject.
No, but you want to believe that what
I have muted Dr. Fofi, because we need to have an understanding. What have I said here? I just said I disagree with him, and then suddenly Dr. Fofi is kicked off. You want me to believe that what China is publishing is true? That? No, but how does that make me unfair? I just mentioned it, that I don't agree with you, and then suddenly Dr. Fofi is kicked off. Did you see him kicked off? No, that's but then you don't agree with me. You don't agree with me. Sorry, but you want me to agree with you. Lamin. Doctor, unmute yourself. I want to make my points quickly, sir. Sorry about that. The point I'm trying to make, I mean, you've got a right to express your exasperation, which you're doing, but I don't understand on which basis. I just disagree. Doctor, I just disagree with the characterization of Mr. Lamin, which you could disagree with me, but I haven't even made the point. And then suddenly
the reason, Brother Prince, why I mean I couldn't control it, it's because I mean you were not simply disagreeing with Mohammed Lamin. You were trying to talk him down, and I think that's unfair.
Okay, let me agree with you on the talking down. Yeah, probably yes. But what I wanted to say was this. I don't agree with what he just said. So what I was going to do as usual, and you are from the field of academia, you make references. So I was going to tell Brother Lamin.
No, but if you don't agree with me, do you want me to agree with you?
Lamin, let me finish.
Okay, yeah, it's fine.
So I was going to tell him, Lamin, and I think I've done it 2 or 3 times. Go and do your research, because I don't agree with what he said. He could do the same thing to me. So he said something about Chernobyl, the way he's doing the chancery thing. And this is something that I've read deeply into. I know exactly what happened, and I hope the brother is not getting carried away by the propagandist side of things. Remember when the story broke, Dr. Fofi, when the story of the chancery broke.
Anyway, this is not about Chernobyl. Let's move on with the program.
The other side, but we need clarification so that when we go, we know exactly how it was dealt with. It's exactly not about Chernobyl. Chernobyl, by the way, let me let you know, is a man I respect deeply.
I have no respect for him.
Deeply. No, you're entitled to your views just like I'm entitled to mine. But on the basis of substance from what he's revealed, that up till now, a man has put out evidence upon evidence against very powerful people, affluent people from an organization which is registered in the Western world, and smearing, blackmailing, which they are alleging that he's doing, is not taken lightly. Up to this day, Dr. Fofi, no one, not even a bank, whose documents he's used against them, has taken action against him. Isn't that telling? But let me get back quickly to the point, sir.
No. Dr. Fofana, you finish. Dr. Fofana, you finish.
Let me get back to the point. So what the young man was saying, when you said put him down, like I'm saying, probably the way I was going about it, I didn't really mean to put him down in that sense, but I don't agree with him, because when he talks about the audit report and Chernobyl's report, those 2 reports are corroborative to the point that this is the point, Doctor. Yeah, you may disagree, but this is the point. That in the government, and this is my proof, my final, the proof is in the pudding. The government accused Madame Lara Piastillo of collaborating with the Africanist press, that all the information the Africanist press is having is coming from where? From Madame Lara Piastillo. That is on record, sir. So we can disagree with Chernobyl because it's a private entity, and because we cannot disagree some school of thought from within, but they've done it because they went on a rampage and a campaign against Madame Lara Piastillo, who's done a magnificent job. They disagreed with her. You are agreeing now on this platform with her, but you know what happened 1 year ago. They threw her under the plane, Air Force One. Then suddenly you guys want to make it appear as if where she's doing a good job and you're almost, doctor.
Anyway.
You see,
Prince,
this is unbelievable.
Prince, let me say something here. I'm looking at the guys who are supporting Madabio, because there are two trends within the SLPP. You have the SLPP and you have the Power Party.
that is not true. That is not true. I mean, it's like, if you like to say, it's like you have the APC and you have the Tolongos. I mean,
well, they
are not two different entities.
Dr. Fofi, in the case of APC and Tolongo, isn't that true? Let's leave SLPP and Power. Isn't it true that they got two strings within one party? You got the Tolongo faction and you got the APC, and even now
please.
Having the Tolongo faction does not make the Tolongo a separate entity. It is just a faction of the APC.
And when you're a faction, doctor, what does a faction mean?
I mean, but look, Prince, have you followed
doctor, what does a faction mean?
Have you followed the Sierra Leonean politics?
Doctor,
yes.
Doctor,
a faction is just a segment of a whole.
Thank you very much,
a
sir.
Segment of a whole.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Please.
Yeah, anyway, go on.
It's just a segment of a whole.
Doc, wait. You see, please, they have done, I'm looking at them, and there's a part of us within the APC and also the people in general in Sierra Leone that have decided to just keep quiet and enjoy the SLPP.
You know why?
Please. Don't speak from me.
Dr. Fofio.
They are the own
worst. Would you consider for round them up now?
No, in fact, I don't even have anything to say. They are their own worst enemies. They are their own poison. I mean, here that these people, we're just going to rewind 2018 and remind you guys of what you said 2018 and what has happened since you came to power.
Yeah.
I listen to you guys. Sometimes I want to reply, but there's no point replying to you guys. Honestly, you are your own worst. You are your own worst enemies. Worst enemies. Let me learn, sir. Let me learn. Okay. I look at, like I said earlier on when you were talking about Anesco and Madabio. Anesco and Madabio are like a water and oil.
I agree.
And and they are so different. They are so different.
I agree.
If you put box today, Nasalo, I don't think Madabio will get even reach 200,000 votes, Nasalo. I don't. You see, if Prince had informed me that we were going to discuss Madabio with people like yourself, I would have said no, because we are going to hold on to what we have until the time comes for 2020. And we are going to go more for those who are educated within the Paupa regime, because they are the worst ones that have contributed to the state that the Paupa sect is in now. And it is so disappointing that somebody, this is my first time meeting you, that you can even say that because of Madam Bio's salary and whatnot, within 3 years, it can build a house like that. And this is the same people, probably including yourself, that were shouting on top rooftop about corruption in Sierra Leone 2017, 2018. So if today you are justifying that President Bio can build a house, please tell me another time.
Let me make one
Please,
quick
no.
I'm not here as SLPP. I'm here as activist.
Oh, both of you are. Both of you are.
No,
I wish you well.
trading personal accusations.
No, it's not yet. It's
Exactly.
It's not yet. I wish you guys well, and we will see in 2022, 2023. We're waiting for you guys.
So I think that ends the statement there. But I want to push them little bit, you know, yeah. In terms
we all forget it. We all forget chance from closing remarks.
One more minute.
No, I don't have anything.
One minute. When I say 1 minute, above the 1 minute, I'll mute you.
Let me say forget 1 minute, so
everybody get 1 minute. Everybody.
Okay.
Lami?
Yeah. Well, one thing, as an activist and from concerned unions, one thing we really I want to say here is Strasser, NPRC taking over as the coup from the APC was timely, and then Julius Maada taking over Strasser was timely because now we are seeing the fruit for more happen.
Very good. And
Strasser suffered a lot. Ahmed Jakaba came, ruled for years. Nothing was done for Strasser. And Eskroma came, ruled for years. Nothing was done for Strasser. In fact, people say Strasser was used. And then Julius Maada came, and now we see Strasser is living in a decent house. Well, the one thing that baffles all of us is we don't know how the house came about. It is an assignment. All of us are doing research on that.
Exactly.
But if this was built from the government coffers, then we need to know, and they need to give an account for that.
Exactly.
If this was built by President Maada Bio, what maybe for now we don't know if some people will want to say the salaries receiving is not enough, the per diem and all that things is not enough. But let's leave that to someday when a better, maybe I don't want to say commission of inquiry or whatever, will come, an inquiry will come, then we will know. Some people are saying a Lebanese man, Mr. Don, built the house. Well, if that's the thing, I'm sure we have journalists that are doing research on this. We will find out soon and very soon. But let's say Strasser is now living in a house with dignity. His dignity has been restored.
Yeah.
And that is paramount to us as activists.
Yes.
So that's what I want to say for now. And thank you very much for hosting us, Mr. Prince. Thank you to my friend Ujuku, who is tagging me as Paupa. But honestly, I'm not Paupa. I'm not even a member of the UK and ISLPP. In fact, that you can tell because I don't even know Mr. Fofi. And Mr. Fofi is a member of the UK and I. I'm an activist.
You're a sympathizer.
Okay. And Mr. Fofi, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to meet you for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a pleasure as well.
Okay, Mr. Prince.
Yeah, Ojuku, you get 1 minute.
I don't know if it's 1 minute, but for me, the entire thing is on court. Maada Bio is unworthy of the office he holds. So for me, I see nothing good. He's a disappointment to the state of Sierra Leone, and I feel sick in my stomach even talking about him. That's my last statement.
Dr. Fofi?
Prince, I would want to thank you once again for the opportunity for us to shed light on something that has been a topic of national debate, the magnanimity His Excellency has shown to a man who once ruled our nation, a man who was not looked after by late President Kaba, a man who was used and abused by the APC. We all saw what happened, how he was paraded all over the country, a man who ruled our nation as a former head of state. He was used as a campaign tool, brought to the TV to make ridicule of the man, just to score cheap political points. But you know what? In Creole, they say, "We fall white, he white." Then bring Strasser on TV for can destroy President Maada being chance for be elected. The people of Sierra Leone are very smart. They knew the man was being used instead of being helped. And we get people like Mr. Macaulay, who have been in the political arena for such a long time. They condone that. But look, this is what we have to say as Sierra Leoneans. This is what
correction. You don't have any evidence. You don't have any evidence that I condone that.
This is
what we have to say. You don't have evidence that I condone that. I have never interviewed Strasser.
Prince, would he allow me speak?
Withdraw your statement.
Would he allow me speak?
No, withdraw your statement.
Prince, would he allow me speak?
Withdraw your statement.
Prince, would he allow me speak?
Withdraw your statement.
Prince, would he allow me speak?
Withdraw your statement.
Dr. Fofi, hold on. Ojukutu, whose statement will you make where you want for that?
That I condone whatever he's talking about Strasser. I have never interviewed Strasser. I've never spoken about Strasser. This is the first time I'm talking about Strasser. You have no evidence, so withdraw your statement.
What statement?
Withdraw your statement.
Okay, let me land and then I'll reconsider that. So, Prince, yeah, as I was saying,
you will not speak. No, you will not speak. You will not speak. I will not. You will not speak.
I mean, this is the APC. If I knew this was an APC discussion, I would not have.
Ojuku, I have the 25-minute interview with Strasser in 2010 by Mr.
Dr. Fofi, did you see how below the belt you ended? You
know, no, let me end. No, Prince, let me end, please. Let me conclude. Let me speak. Can I please conclude, Prince? Can I please conclude? Can I please conclude? I have not landed. I have not landed.
Yeah. Dr. Fofi, that will not stop me from saying what I want to say.
Okay, let me land, then you can make a commentary.
You just ended what I consider to have been a feisty, good engagement with good differences. We differ, but at last we agree. But then you characterize this entire conversation had I known, and I'm quoting.
No. The reason I'll qualify that. I'll qualify that. I'll qualify that. No, Prince. This is no disrespect to your channel. I'm very sorry if that's.
That's what you said. I was just repeating it.
Okay, I withdraw that.
Thank you very much. Go carry on. Anyway.
So I withdraw that to say what I am saying here. The debate tonight was about the house built by President's bill for former head of state Valentine Strasser. That is what we came to discuss. We did not come here to discuss APC or SLPP. I am not here to talk about the SLPP. I am here as an academic giving an objective opinion on what has transpired.
So objectivity can be selective depending on the speaker.
You understand? So on that note,
we must end. The time is over.
So what
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you to Una very, very much. Of course, the debate has been feisty and fiery, and you see, if I continue for encouragement, we're not going to end. Every one of the guests and they enjoyed the program tonight. This is not one program.
I'm not enjoying it.
Very much so.
Well, I'm enjoying it.
The program, and like I say, out of respect of the brother where we lost, we begin the program with him and we go end down with him. I just want to play a little clip, ladies and gentlemen, for those who will join later. We lost one of brother today, yesterday, it's after 12, brother Abes. May God give him good road, God grant and Janan, and may his soul rest in peace. I just want left una with a little bit of this clip here, so they are una take a good look and let we pray for the brother in soul in we own weak way.